Okay, friends. Well, let's determine if the picanha steak is one of the best steak there is. I heard so many YouTubers say that's the best steak you've ever had. So guess what? In France, it's not very popular. In France, it's called the culotte steak. And it's not really popular. It certainly was not when I was in France. Maybe it is now, I'm not sure. But it is in Brazil. It's the national steak in Brazil. A lot of Brazilians know their steak, boy, let me tell you. So I think we have to give them the benefit of the doubt. I never really had it. Top sirloin, it's called. Top sirloin cap, the rum cap. And but I trust a lot of those YouTubers, and I've listened to it. I like their work. And they said it's one of the best steak you've ever had. So I'm going to find out. Friends, as you can see, this grain goes up and down. We're going to cut it with the grain, so then when we can eat it against the grain. So it's going to be more tender. And for what I'm understanding, the first steak is not quite as tender, so it's going to take the most tender as the one in the center cut. So we're going to find out together, eh, friends? The fat cap is beautiful. We're going to leave it down. All of the Brazilian chefs that I have friends, they say, you got to eat the fat. So I give it a try. I normally don't eat all the fat, but it's supposed to be very good. So we're going to try it. All right? I'm going to do it the way all my Brazilian friends are doing it. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to cut about 5 steaks right there. We're going to do them about an inch and a quarter. And we're going to cut them right there. And we're going to cut it, and we're going to leave the fat cap. We're not touching the fat cap. Makes everybody happy. We're not touching it. And we should end up with 5 steaks, decent size. And then we're going to saute them. We're going to make them beautiful. And voila. So we end up with the steaks right there. And then we end up with the steaks right there, like this. All right? So I could have probably cut them just a little thicker. So this one didn't have to be so thick since it's not that good of a piece. So next time I think I'll cut those just a little thicker. And that's it. So now we're going to do what we do with all our steaks, friends. We're going to do a dry brine, which means we're going to put the salt overnight and we're going to put it on a tray. Okay, so let's put the salt and we're going to let them, that's all we're doing, just a little salt. And some of you may say, oh, it's a lot of salt. It's not. It's not. We're going to do a dry brine. And remember, friends, we have a video on how to cook the perfect steak. Jack is going to give you a link to it and explain all this, the right way to do it. And then we're going to flip them on the other side. And we're going to do exactly the same thing. And those steaks are thin, so they're going to cook very fast. The total weight of the picanha steak was 2.75, so just under 3 pounds, which is the perfect size for a picanha steak. And we're going to let them brine overnight and cover, not cover, remember, don't cover them. And the salt will penetrate. And with the process of osmosis, going to create a nice crust. And we will leave them like that overnight. And then we'll be back in 24 hours, friends. And we're going to cook them. And we're going to test them. And we'll be the judge to see if it's one of the best steak there is. Okay, friends. Well, it's been 24 hours. As you can see, the color is a lot more mahogany. It's a little darker in color. And you can see super, super dry. The meat is super, super dry. The salt has penetrated back. So we season on the inside with the salt. And we're nice and dry on the crust. So we did everything we're supposed to do to make sure the steak is the best that it can be. So let's continue. We're going to put a little bit of black pepper. I'm not going to put a lot, just a little bit, because it's not about the sauce. It's about seasoning it. So simply seasoning it. We're going to season it on both sides, and that's all we're going to do with it, because we certainly don't need any salt. See, you got the mark from the rack. Make sure when you do, friends, put any steak in a cooler. Make sure you don't wrap it. You keep it on a rack like that, drying rack, and leave it there 24 hours. You can leave it 72 hours. It's not going to hurt it at all, okay, especially if you have a big piece. All right, so now, friends, I have two fry pan because I want to divide the outside of the steaks. The smaller piece of the outside, both outside are not going to be as tender as the inside. We're going to find out for sure. We're going to do it together, okay, friends? So if you have, if you're going to have four people for dinner, there's nothing wrong with it. And it's a good value if, in fact, it's a good steak. I got the pan hot. I got a little bit of clarified butter. You don't really need it because we're going to put the fat cap on it. You don't really need it. But I love butter. I think actually it's ghee that I have right here. I have ghee because I made the ghee for some other preparation the other day, and I have it. You can see it's a little more nutty. Well, you can't tell it's nutty, but I like it. So I'm going to take the two outside steaks, friends, and I'm going to put them, and I'm going to put, my clarified butter is about 350, 365. That's what I was looking for. And yeah, we are exactly at 365 right now. So we're going to put the outside, and we're going to put it here, right on the fat cap. So hopefully it'll release some of that fat, and we're going to use it. Hopefully it'll stand up a little bit like this. Stay, okay? And we're going to do the same over there, all right? Just like this. And we're going to release some of that fat. Okay, nothing special here. You see, it's going to fall because it's not, it didn't stay. It's not thick enough to stay, but it's okay. You got the idea. We want to get some of the fat out. All right, so stay like that. It's doing it here. Let me make sure I'm not too hot. Everything's going well. And if it falls, it falls. Okay, that's all there is to it. Eventually, it's going to fall. Okay, and we got enough of the clarified butter, so there's nothing else I can do right now. It's going to fall. So what we're going to do, we're going to leave it like that. We'll let it fall. We got enough fat between the meat and between the fat and the clarified butter. So now, I'm going to leave it alone, friends, okay? I don't like to move it around. You move it around. By the way, there's a lot of people that are cooking this on a grill. Nothing wrong with that. Great. I know I don't do things on the grill. I have a grill, but I don't do anything on it yet. So we will do shows on the grill, but right now I'm doing it in the pan. When I put a steak in the pan, I don't believe in moving it around. There's so many school of thought, do it, don't do it. I have never done it. I'm happy with the way my steak comes out. I want to create as much of a Maillard reaction as possible. A lot of caramelization of the protein inside to create a nice crust. And the fact that the steak has been dry brining for 24 hours, it's going to give me that. You'll see I'm going to have a beautiful crust. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it on the other side, and we're going to pop them in a 450-degree oven for maybe 4 minutes. No more than that, because they're very thin. They're not going to take any time at all to cook. They may take a little longer if you want. I like it to have it about 120, 125 degrees. So we'll check it. See, we don't move it around. We'll check it. I just want a nice crust. That's all I'm interested in. So let's see what I got, friends. Okay, look. You see? Look. It's beautiful. And it was not in there very long. But remember, I have the fact that I dry brined it. It dried it out, and it gives me a beautiful crust. Now we're going to go in the oven, and we're going to go in the oven and let it finish cooking. The other side is going to do very good. We're going to let that cook for 4 minutes, friends. Okay. After 4 minutes, I'm going to take them out. I'm going to let them rest right here for about 8 minutes because they're thin, so I'm not going to let that long. And then we're going to cut it, and then we're going to decide if it's in fact one of the best steak I've ever had. All right, I'll be back in about 4 minutes. All right, friends. Make sure we keep a towel on the fry pan so we don't forget. And now what we're going to do, friends, we are going to, look at it, beautiful. Look how beautiful. Look at that, friend. Look at that. They're gorgeous. You see, they got a beautiful crust, perfect from the other side. We didn't have to flip them. And we already got a beautiful crust, you see? Gorgeous. All right, so I'm gonna let them rest about 9 minutes, or maybe 7 to 9 minutes. I don't wanna leave them too long. And then we'll come back and cut into it and see how we did. All right, friends? This smells amazing. It'd be great to make a sauce, but we're not making a sauce today. All right, we're gonna let them rest. Okay, leave them rest for a few minutes. I promise you, it will redistribute the juice. When you cut it, you don't lose as much juice. All right, so we're gonna go in and we're gonna use the center cut first, and we're gonna go right in the middle of it. All right, we're gonna take the one that was in the center, and all of my Brazilian friends are telling me, you gotta eat the fat, you gotta eat the fat. So we'll see about that, because I don't eat all the fat. But look, I'm gonna cut it, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful medium rare, cooked perfect. We don't lose much juice because we let it rest. I'm gonna cut a small piece because I have to talk. It looks beautiful, so now you see I'm gonna be eating it with the grain. So it looks very nice. It certainly feels very tender. Look, I can put it with my fingers. And wow. It's delicious. It's delicious. It's not the most tender steak I've ever had, but I'll tell you what, it's delicious because we paid, I think, I don't remember exactly, around $30, $35 for the whole thing. So $6, $7 for a steak, it's not bad at all. You gotta eat the fat. It's actually quite tasty. So this, phenomenal. From the center, delicious, tasty, tender. Wow, it really is delicious. Now this is the end of the steaks. So the two ends. So let's check this one out. Also cooked to perfection. I cut a small piece, and it looks perfectly tender. Look at this, friends. Look at this. Okay, not as tender as this, just as flavorful, and also delicious. So, wow, delicious. Like I said, the end not as tender. Let's take from the other side. And the other side, puffed up a little bit, you can see. And let's see what we have. That was from the end of the triangle. Looks also very tender. Look at this. Very tender. Friends, absolutely delicious as well. So, my conclusion is, then for $35, it is indeed one of the best steak I've ever had. So, I will put all the different name of it. Then you can get it out when you go to the butcher shop. Friends, gotta try it. I'll give it a good 8 to 10, 8 to 9 on the 10. It's very good. Certainly an amazing value. And yes, a fantastic steak. Go out there, check it out. I'll write all the name, and I hope you enjoy it as well, as much as I did. On the grill, remember, very long. Remember, this was only 4 minutes in the oven, and it cooked perfectly. All right? Hope you enjoyed the video. Remember, thumbs up if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to ring the bell. Thanks for watching, friends.